of the grade 9 academic course. This is solving equations with fractions, but these are the tougher examples. So I have 2 tough examples to go through. And as you go through them, you'll realize they're tough, but if you just follow the steps and apply what you've already learned, it's not that bad. Okay, so first of all, we're solving for m. So what are the steps? Well, we have to find the lowest common denominator. If it's not the lowest, but it's still a common denominator, it'll still work. Okay. For example, by that I mean if the lowest common denominator between these 3 numbers is 12, right, because they all go into 12. If you picked, say, 24 instead of 12, you could still get the right answer, okay? It's just that typically we pick the lowest, okay? So if you pick 24, it wouldn't mean that you're not going to get the right answer. But anyways, once you found a common denominator, and the lowest would be the easiest choice, then you just multiply every term in the expression, in the whole equation, by that denominator. So that what I mean by that is this term will get multiplied by 12, this one will get multiplied by 12, this one will get multiplied by 12. Every single term gets multiplied by 12. And the reason is we want to kill the denominator. Okay, we want to get rid of this denominator, and by multiplying by a common denominator, we can. And then you just rearrange the equation like we've been doing so far. So, as I said earlier, the lowest common denominator is 12, and we want to kill the fraction. So let's see what happens next. We're going to multiply each term by 12. What does that look like? So you have notice, by the way, before you write anything else, the brackets around the numerator, they're only really important here and here, okay? But if you have a numerator with more than one term, to include the brackets, and then multiply every term by 12. So this term by 12, this one by 12, this one by 12, right? So multiply every single term by 12. When you do that, the next line, you think of, okay, now this 12, if you divide it by 2, you get 6. And as you can see, that becomes the number right here. So this term, this m plus 1, stays the same. But this 6 is because 12 divided by 2 is 6. Same thing here. 12 divided by 3 is 4. And that's how I ended up with 4. And then this m is just this m. Okay? 12 times 1 is just 12. So we still keep the negative 12. 12 times 4 is 48. 12 divided by 4 is 3. Okay, and again, keep the brackets right here. So now we're going to apply distributive property and expand this expression, get rid of the brackets. So 6m plus 6, right? 6 times m, 6 times 1, plus 4m minus 12. None of that changes. And same thing over here. 48, okay, so I have minus 3 times 2, so minus 6m. Minus 3 times minus 3 is plus 9. And I'm going to just keep collecting all my terms. 6 plus 4m is 10m. 6 plus 6 minus 12 is minus 6. I put this so I have the minus 6m first, and then I have 48 plus 9 is 57 over at the end. Bring all the m terms over to the left-hand side of the equation, so I add 6m to both sides. And then, which leaves me with this. And then I add 6 to both sides. It's not going to be a very pretty number. And then get m by itself by dividing both sides by 16. And finally, m is 63 by 16. And I won't try to make that a decimal. I'll just leave it as it is. Okay? Very tough question for sure, but working with fractions is an important thing. Mostly you need to be good at for grade 10 academic math. Okay? All right, one more tough one coming up. If I got it too fast, just pause. Okay, same thing, same question, same strategy, nothing's different. We're just going to go through one more together, okay? And if you work ahead and then check your answers, that'd be the best thing. So first find your LCD. I wrote it down here. It's 10 in this case, between 5 and 10. Then we'll multiply each term by the LCD. Okay, so u times 10 minus 3 times 10, 2u over 5 times 10. So every single term by 10, 4 times 10. Remember, put the brackets around the numerator. Times 10. So just rewriting that is, instead of u times 10, I put 10u minus 30. 10 divided by 5 is 2, so that's where that 2 came from. 10 divided by 5 times 2u. Over here, 4 times 10 is 40, and these 10s cancel, so I kept the brackets, but I didn't have to. Now that it's just times plus 1, it doesn't really matter. So rewrite it again, just a little bit more simplified. 10u and then minus 30. I have 4u here, 2 times 2u. Just got rid of those brackets. I don't have to do anything to it because there's no number to multiply it by. It's not negative. Bring all my u terms over to the left-hand side and all my non-u terms to the right-hand side. So you'll just see 10u minus 4u, that didn't change. And then this plus u, I subtracted u from both sides. And over here, I've got my 40 and my minus 5, and then this minus 30. So I added 30 over here. And simplify it to get 5u equals 65, and u will be 13. Okay, so that's the last one. Those are tough, and you'll definitely see some like that in your assignment and on your test.